prophet and an apostle, teacher of the word and pastor, who is successful in ministry, for every business person who is successful in business, there is what we call an incubation process, an incubation season, an incubation time. You might ask yourself a question: what is an incubation process? What is an incubation season? What is a process and a time of incubation? A process of incubation is a time spent with God. It's a time spent in Elijah went through an incubation season. Elisha went through incubation season. 12 disciples, they all went through incubation season. For the 12 disciples, they went for a 3-year incubation system, being taught of the things of the kingdom. Elisha went for until Elijah was taken, incubation season, to be taught on how the prophetic functions. Every man born of a woman needs an incubation system, needs an incubation time, needs an incubation season. You can never succeed in life without going through the process of incubation. An incubation season, it's an intimacy season. This is a time where God injects you with His nature. It can take 2 years, 5 years. For some people, it can take 10 years. But it's necessary that you go through an incubation. Time when God injects you with His nature is called intimacy time. Remember that the Bible says Adam is the glory of God. But before Adam became the glory of God, there are some few things that God had to do. Number one, God had to plant a garden for Adam. Number two, God had to create Adam, take him out of his mind, and use the dust to create Adam. And the same way that God did with Adam is the same way that He expected Adam to do with Eve. The Bible says Adam was the glory of God and Eve was the glory of Adam. So before you go in a season or time or a hunt for a woman, the first thing that you have to get is a garden. Adam never went for a garden. He was given a garden. And God is expecting every man not to allow their wives to go and get the garden, but expecting every man to get the garden and present the garden to their wives. The same way that God did with men is expecting every man to do with their wives. Why? Because it's necessary as a man that you get a garden before you can really go and look for a wife. There are some certain things that we learn from the beginning that Adam did before he could even ask for a wife. Number one, Adam never went to look for a woman. Number two, Adam never asked God for a woman. It was God who said, it's not good for a man to be alone. What is it that Adam was doing before he could even get a wife? Number one, Adam made sure that he is working in the garden. It's work. The first thing that Adam had was work. The second thing that Adam had was the glory of God. So a man without the glory and a man who cannot produce, or a man who cannot beautify what God has given him, is not ready to have a wife. Is it a bad thing not to have a wife? Absolutely not. Paul never had a wife. Many people in the Bible never had a wife. So it's only good for a man to have a wife when you have produced, when you have beautified the garden that God has given you. What is that process called? It's called an incubation process. It's called a season of intimacy. It's called a season with God, where God injects His nature unto you, where God gives you His glory, where God is training you to be able to keep what He has given you. It's necessary that to go through an incubation period. It's necessary that to go through a season of intimacy. Without a season of intimacy, you will never achieve or keep what God has given you as a blessing. Thank you for watching this video. Shalom.